So this is it. This is our project. This is going to be learning how to read a tape measure. Now we've got an example of 4 tape measures here. We've got a Stanley, Hugh Cunningham, made in China, giveaway type deal, and we have another Stanley. This is a 10 foot. I think this is a 12 foot. This is a 12 foot. This is a 25 foot tape measure. Now, all of these have something in common. They all have numbers on them, but they are very, very different. If I'm going to be doing some framing, building a building, something like that, where I'm using, 8, 12 foot goods, boards, 16 foot, I am not, absolutely not, going to pick up this little 10 footer. This is a small job, very fine work. What I will do is grab this. It's 25 foot long, so I can measure 16 foot boards, 18 foot boards, 20 foot boards, all the way up to 25 feet. You get it. And it's got a belt clip. I like that. It's plastics, durable, job site. So these 3 would be like inside the house, measuring for pictures or something like that. Measuring how big a closet is, something like that. That's where I would use these. I would not use that on this. This is a very, very, very thin one. So this one here, I would use out here for small project work. Now, we're going to learn how to read these tape measures. They all read the same way, okay? So it really doesn't matter what tape measure you grab. They all read the same way. Now, let's spin this around so you guys can read the numbers. Now, obviously, let me get my pointer out. These, all right, the big black numbers are the inch numbers. So you got 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. Now, a tape measure always starts at the end. So when you come to a big number, the biggest line, solid line after that is that inch mark. Okay, so your inch mark is from here all the way to there. The number goes inside the inch that it is. So the number 1 is inside the first inch mark. Number 2 is inside the second inch mark. The number 3 is inside the third inch mark. So once you divide it up into inches, then it's real simple. So 1 inch, 6 inch. The 6 inch is right there. Okay, see that? Right there. Now, half of an inch is ½ inch, 1/2. So if this is an inch, then the next biggest line has got to be a ½ inch. So that's your ½ inch line. So reading this tape measure this way, that would be 5½ inches. Half of a half is a quarter. That's 5 1/4 inches. Half of a quarter is an eighth. That's 5 1/8 inch. Half of an eighth is a 16th. That's 5 1/16 mark. And that's it. So 1/16, 16 sixteenths is a full inch. 8 sixteenths, 8 divided by 2 is, 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So you reduce that down. 8 sixteenths is 1/2. Okay, so don't let that confuse you. But you need to know that, because if that's 8 sixteenths, that's 9 sixteenths. 10 sixteenths, 11 sixteenths, 12 sixteenths, 13 sixteenths. 14, 15, 16. Now, learning your sixteenths is because a lot of things are 9/16 or 13/16 or 15/16, excuse me. But that's exactly how you read it. Each one of these lines counts as a 16th minimum. Each one of these, the smallest line is a 16th, that's an eighth, that's a quarter, that's a half. So if this is an eighth, you got 5 1/8, that's 2/8, that's 3/8. So this is actually 5 3/8. We don't have a 2/8 because that's a quarter. That's your quarter mark. So we counted down from inch to half inch to quarter inch to eighth inch to 16th inch. Now we're counting back up. That's 1/16, that's 1/8, that's 3/16, that's 1/4, that's 5/16, that's 3/8, that's 7/16, that's a half. Then you go 9/16, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, on and on and on. Understanding what goes on right here in 1 inch tells you exactly how to read this whole thing. So if my number is 14 3/8, then 14 3/8 is, where is it? There's 14, there's 1/8, that's 2/8, that's 3/8. That's 14 3/8 right there. Pretty simple, huh? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.